Good morning, Penny. Here's the machine, the Breville Barista Express BES870 in silver. So as you saw in the photos, this is a machine in good condition. It is used, but let me show you the condition close up via video. Yeah, so not too bad, honestly. For a machine that's been used for a few years, it's typical wear and tear. So mainly some scratches around the front where the cups go in and out, and some small nicks around the back and scratches as well around here. So this area, as you can tell from the video, maybe from a different angle, but honestly it's, yeah, like I said, even when you buy these new, you'll get scratches within weeks, so it's not out of the ordinary, and it works perfectly fine, like new. Like I said, I've given it a full service myself. Yeah, so absolutely no issues, and again, 1 month warranty from today, or from the date of purchase. In case anything goes wrong, I'll be able to repair it or refund you. Yeah, so the machine is on. It usually takes a minute to turn on and warm up. I'm going to make a coffee on it in this video just to show you how it works, since you don't have a physical manual, but I'm also going to send you a digital manual. The machine, when you see the lights go on or go off, that means it's ready to go. So we can keep it on for maybe 10 or 20 minutes for things to warm up. For example, the portafilter handle, the group head, the top lid, you can put your cups on here. But if you're in a hurry and you want to warm up the machine quickly, you can just run a blank shot. I recommend warming up the machine either by waiting or by running a blank shot, because that will make your coffees hotter and taste better, of course. So we can run a blank shot, like a double shot, let's say, no coffee in the handle. You can do that once or twice, it's up to you. At least once is recommended. Just putting some milk in the milk jug. 1 second. Yeah, so that should be okay for now. We'll put this on the side. And we're going to take out the portafilter. And we want to make sure to dry it properly. So here's the portafilter in case you wanted to see the condition. It does have some scratches, of course, as it's been used, and the scratch over here. Otherwise, look, it works absolutely fine, no issues. This is the double basket. The machine also comes with a single basket. This double basket takes 18 grams of ground coffee, so we'll try to put 18 grams. I'm going to gauge that using my scale over here. With the grinder, you've got a few settings. So you've got the grind size, the grind amount, and the grind filter size, sorry. So the grind size is how fine or how coarse the coffee will come out. This setting will change the settings of the grinder burrs. So I recommend only changing this setting when the grinder is actually grinding. So let's do that now. So I'm going to grind a bit. Yeah, so now I've changed it from a 5 to a 4. I think number 4 will be a good grind size for us today. So we'll try that. I'm going to get rid of the grounds that I've just grinded, because part of what just came out is the new grind size and the old size. So it'll be a mix between grind size number 5 and grind size number 4. So I'm just going to get rid of it so we can start fresh. I'm going to use my scale to measure, of course. So we want, like I said, 18 grams of ground coffee in the basket, which is standard for a double shot. So we'll put it on double, we'll put it around 3 o'clock position, and we'll go for it. sometimes if you put this at a setting too high, you might spill over. So in this case, we did spill some coffee beans or some ground coffee. So I'm assuming we're a bit overdosing at the moment, so we'll have to reduce it by a bit. Let's see. Sorry about that. Okay, that's 20 grams. It's way too much, so we'll dial it back. Let's say 12 o'clock position. I'm not gonna grind again, but you can try that setting and see how you go. I'm gonna get rid of the excess. And look, if you don't have a scale, a good way to know that you have the proper amount of coffee is, I'm gonna try to do it here. So just get rid of the excess like that, using your finger. That should be about 18 grams. I'm not exactly sure, but it should be about 18 grams. Let's see that. $17.5. Yeah, so we need a bit more. So, like I said, 18 grams. You don't have to do this process every single time. It's only when you first set up the machine is when you have to change these settings. Or if you're more of a manual person, you can just grind manually. And to grind manually, you just hold it. Yeah, that's 18 grams. I'm happy with that. Let's tamp it now. So to tamp, before you tamp actually, just make sure you flatten the coffee with your palm or with your fingers, whichever. And then when you come to tamp, you're going to apply firm, even pressure. So, and you'll notice that the tamper only goes as deep as the silver part. The silver cap here is it's like a guide. So if you have the correct amount of coffee, which is 18 grams for this, or 9 grams for the single, when you have the correct amount of coffee, you cannot tamp deeper than this depth. It's like a nice rule of thumb that you wanna maybe use if you're in a hurry or if you don't have a scale. It'll help you with getting good coffee. So you'll see that the tamp surface is nice and flat. It's smooth. It's even as well. And now I'm just gonna clean the edges all around and lock it in. So just a bit to the right, not on the center, because that might not be enough pressure. So just a bit to the right. And yeah, we're ready to make an espresso now. Let's do that. So there's also, by the way, there's also a hot water tap. You can use this to make a long black coffee, brew some tea, or in this case, I'm using a bit of hot water to help my sugar dissolve, because I really dislike undissolved sugar in my coffee. So I'll add the sugar. Okay, so we put in 18 grams. We want to double that in terms of espresso. So we want to aim for 36 grams of espresso coming out of this belt. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio. So 18 in, 36 out. If the numbers are overwhelming, you can just ignore the numbers and just go by taste. Honestly, do what makes the coffee taste good, I guess. Doesn't exactly have to be all numbers. Yeah, so let's make an espresso shot. Okay. These buttons, the single and the double, they are programmable, so you can change them to whatever length you'd like, and the machine will remember that length. So let's teach it to do a 36 gram output. I'm going to press program, and then I'm going to press the button I want to be programming. Now I'm going to make the coffee. I'm going to pay attention to two things: the speed of the coffee and like the flow. Is it smooth or is it too quick? And the pressure. The pressure, I want it to be around, let's say 12 o'clock, around the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock mark. It depends on what grind size and what beans I'm using, but ideally it should be in the top range up here. Also, I want this whole thing, 36 grams, I want it to come out between 20 to 30 seconds. So let's see. If it's quicker than 30 seconds, sorry, if it's quicker than 20 seconds, we need to make the grind size finer. If it's slower than 30 seconds, we need to make it coarser. And in this case, it looks like we have the perfect 1 o'clock pressure. Very nice and smooth flow. We're at 25 seconds now, and we think we're on the dot. So I'll stop it at 30. Stop it right there. I think this is about 36 grams. So let's double check. That's 32 grams. So it's just under what I was aiming for, but that's okay. You can change this later if you want. This is still a good shot, I would say. We had, I think, 32 seconds of brew time, so not too bad. Yeah, I think the next step would be to change the grind size from a 4 to a 5. Apparently number 4 is too fine, so we'll change it to a 5. Remember, we need to be grinding while changing the grind size. And let it go for a couple seconds just to get rid of the old grind size. Feels a bit wasteful, but it's honestly better than making a whole coffee and wasting the whole shot. Yeah, so that's the espresso. Let's not let it sit for too long. And now let's do the milk. So it's pretty simple on the milk. Steam inside, you just turn it on and it steams after 10 seconds. You don't need to heat up and get up to temperature. You can use this opportunity to clean the machine. So knock the coffee out into a knock box. And then once we finish with the milk, we will be rinsing this as well. I have my jug halfway filled with cold full cream milk. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn it off. Then put it at an angle close to the surface of the milk. Turn it back on. I'm gonna try to spin. I'm spinning the milk in a vortex sort of, and keeping the wand at an angle helps with that. Also, keeping the tip of the wand close to the surface will help me inject air into the milk. And then, depending on how long you hold that position, it'll change how much froth you get. And now we're getting quite hot, so close to 60 degrees. I'm gonna stop it when I can't touch it for too long. Which is right about now. And then before it cools down, I'm gonna purge. And then turn it back off. The purge is important to unblock the hole from any milk. And also grab a wet towel. It'll cool down now. The machine cools down on its own from steam mode to coffee mode, and that's evident in the buttons. When the buttons are on, it means it's ready to make another coffee. I'm gonna wipe this straight away. The sooner you clean it, the easier it is to clean. You don't want it to sit there for too long. It might block the hole, or might get really hard to remove later on, so sooner the better. Make sure it's nice and clean. And with the milk, I'm gonna knock down the jug on the table, on the counter for a few times until we break the bubbles. So break the air bubbles, then swirl it around. Do this a few times until the surface of the milk is nice and smooth. Almost like wet paint, I would say. Yeah, so that's good milk, I would say. Very smooth. I'm not the best latte artist, but with some practice, you can easily do that on this machine. What's important to me is the taste, and coffees out of this machine just taste incredible, honestly. Here's the final result. I was attempting to do a heart, but that didn't work out. Anyway, I think this is closer to a cappuccino, looking at how much foam we have. Just a lot of foam, honestly. But yeah, with some practice, you can change the level of foam you get and the temperature, of course. So I'm sure you'll be able to do incredible coffees with this machine. And one more thing, just the rinsing part is just press the double and rinse the portafilter like this. This will also rinse the group shower screen. And maybe about once a week or so, grab a tissue or a brush and just clean the group head to make sure there's no coffee ground buildup. And yeah, that's the machine. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Thanks.